All right. Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. This is Rudy. Hey, I hope you had a great weekend. I know I did. I spent some time with the Texas Deacon out at the gun show this weekend, along with my wife and some family members, and we had a grand old time. We even went out to his pond and we did some more shooting, and we had a good time, and I hope you had a good weekend as well. But hey, nobody ever told me, as I was growing up, I went to, elementary school, junior high, high school, and college, and nobody ever told me. And you say, what are you talking about? Well, I just always thought that anybody could become president. I always thought that there was no one above the law, and I thought that we were, land of the free, home of the brave. That's what I thought, and I just thought when people, are proven to do corruption, that they get held accountable. And I thought that the American public will not stand for corruption and lying. And I knew that there were some corrupt people in government. I wasn't that naive. But I thought, I didn't think we were like a third world nation where everybody just agrees with the fact that, yeah, we got a corrupt nation and they don't do anything about it. I thought we were land of the free, home of the brave. I thought we were, America, exceptionalism, freedom-loving people that wouldn't put up with any nonsense. But Sheriff Joe Arpaio came out and proved that, gave proof that Barack Obama's birth certificate is a forgery, and you don't see it on any of the news stations, So I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. But, there are some of us that won't stand for it, and there are some of us that are going to say the truth. And you guys may know this already, but Pastor James David Manning, the quintessential American in Harlem, New York, has asked me to put together a gathering of constitutionalists and birthers. And let me quickly say that about a week after he asked me to do that, he put out a video on his YouTube channel. The government has contacted my employment and said that they are conducting a random citizenship audit, and that I am a person of interest, and a form I filled out in 1997, which is about 15 years ago, has problems on it. And the government is concerned that I am not a United States citizen. So I do have my short form and my long form, and I'm considering, they have not required it. I said I will do what is legally required. They've not asked me to legally require to produce it yet, but I'm thinking about taking my long form, breaking it up into multiple layers, running it through OCR, and putting a little smiley face on the stamp, and then putting it on a website and sending them the link. You think that will suffice? Maybe I'll even print out something on a newspaper ad. Back in the birth announcements, I'll just pay to have my birth announcement printed in a newspaper, and I'll send them that newspaper. But anyway, the thing is, it's obvious that the government pays attention to Pastor Manning, and there's no doubt in my mind that what is happening to me, they're trying to intimidate me, and they're trying to squash anybody that speaks out about the eligibility. And they're not letting anything that Sheriff Joe Arpaio has done get the light of day. But that's not how we operate. That's not the Texas that I grew up in, and that's not the America that I grew up in. So I want to share with you guys a story too. I reached out to Dr. I think his name is Robert Jeffress. He runs the First Baptist Church in downtown Dallas. He's running a $130 million project to bring a spiritual oasis to downtown Dallas. He's been on over 600 nationwide television and radio programs. And I reached out to him and said, hey, Dr. Robert Jeffress, would you like to have, host this gathering at your church? Because just like Dietrich Bonhoeffer did in the times of Germany, maybe you would like to, step up to the plate here and, help be a spiritual leader for truth in our nation at this moment where we need it badly. But I got a reply from a representative of Dr. Robert Jeffress from First Baptist Church in Dallas, and the reply was, we are fully aware of what Sheriff Joe Arpaio is doing. We do not think that our church will be a proper venue for your birther and constitutionalist gathering. Now, the purpose of me making this video is not to bash Dr. Robert Jeffress or First Baptist Church, but I have found another church, and Pastor Stefan Broden, who's very active in the pro-life community, has stepped up and offered his church on May the 24th for the Birther and Constitutionalist gathering. And I think we have a commitment from Pastor Manning to be there on May the 24th as well. Now, this is my first video where I'm announcing the date and the place. So the date is May the 24th. The place is 1321 Rowan, 1321 Rowan, and that's in Dallas, Texas, 75223, Fair Park Bible Fellowship. And the pastor of that church is Pastor Stefan Broden. And I've been going to his church for over a year and a half now, and I got nothing but good things to say about him. He is a man of God and will say the truth, and this will make him unpopular in his community and may cost him some membership in his church. I'm not sure. But I will vouch for Pastor Stefan Broden that he is a man of God and will say the truth and will not back down. So I appreciate and am very grateful that Pastor Stefan Broden has decided to allow his church to be used for this gathering. And I will just remind everybody of a statement that I once heard, and I don't know even who to give credit to, but it basically says, in a time of universal deceit, it is a revolutionary act to state the truth. And so I consider Pastor Stefan Broden a friend, and he's my pastor, and I've learned a great deal from him, and I am so grateful that the Lord has led me to his church, and he has a righteous congregation. And I know this will be a very a challenge. You know, I don't know if it's a challenge, but this ain't going to make him any more popular than he already is. But I know that he's a man of God, and I appreciate the fact that we can use his church. So having said that, May the 24th, Fair Park Bible Fellowship Church, 1321, and I've got this phone. It's a spare phone, and I want to give you guys this phone number, and I need some help. I need some help with a lot of things for this gathering, right? So I'm reaching out to you guys, and I'm going to try to make up some flyers and pass around town. I'm going to invite, there's a list of 50 people of different birthers and constitutionalists that are outspoken. Examples are Jerome Corsi, Sheriff Arpaio, Captain Neil Turner, Terry Lakin, Walter Fitzpatrick. I can't go through the whole list. So if I didn't mention your name, I've got a list of about 50 different people, and I plan to reach out to every one of them, but it's also open to the public. And so also I need like help with the name. I can think of like Texas Birther and Constitutionalist Summit, or maybe Texas Birther Barbecue, but I need a name. And so can you guys help me think of a good name for this thing? And then also, if anybody knows how to set up a website, just a one-page website, and I can provide like the date and the address, and maybe some hotels in the area. And there is a Adolphus Hotel. It's got a Texas flair to it. And if I get enough phone calls and if I get enough people that are interested, we can get a group rate with a 15% discount. That maybe will put the nightly rate around $160 a night, which is kind of expensive, but at the same time, it's a very nice hotel and it's got a really good Texas flair to it. There's a Lowe's Anatole as well. That's very close to Pastor Stefan Broden's church, and I can give that address out for those that are interested. But let me give this phone number. I'm going to turn this thing off at night because I got to get some sleep. But during the day, my wife and I are going to try to answer this phone, and we want you to call us and tell us if you're coming. Tell us if you can help with the food or the drinks. My wife is in charge of the food and the drinks, so if you can help with that, talk to her. But the phone number for this thing, and I've got voicemail on it too, so you can call it at any time. Even if I don't answer it, you can leave a voicemail. But the phone number, the phone number for this phone, which I've got specifically for this event, is 214-632-6340. Again, that's 214-632-6340. And my wife said to say that we need help with the name of the event. Maybe if somebody can help set up a website. And we need help with the food and the drinks. So if you know some ideas about that. Also photography. If anybody has like a camera and can come take pictures of the event, and so we can help get press for Sheriff Arpaio and for our country. We're not doing this for Sheriff Arpaio. We're doing it for our country because we have a usurper. We got a rat in the White House. We need to smoke him out, just like Pastor Manning says. And we also, bring your video cameras. Let's make some YouTube videos. Let's get, if the mainstream media is too cowardly and they're controlled by corporations, let's make our own press and let's invite the local press. And I don't know how many people we're going to have, but this is in God's hands. And I'm reminded of Gideon's army. God says, if they're not dedicated, send them back. And so God doesn't need a big army. He just needs those that are dedicated. And if you come, I want you to be dedicated. And let's have a good time. Let's meet. Let's chat. Let's strategize. Let's strategize about what we're going to do about this. And, the America that I grew up in, home of the brave, land of the free, land of the brave, or home of the free. we wouldn't put up with any of this. We wouldn't put up with the fact that we got a usurper from Kenya in our White House, and this would be all over mainstream news, and we would flush this out. Whether the birth certificate is a forgery or not would be all over mainstream news, and there would be both sides of the issue, and there would be investigative journalists that were brave enough to take it on, and we would get to the bottom of it. But I don't know what kind of country we got now, but I'm putting it all in God's hands. And for the government agents that have been assigned to me to intimidate me, we're going to have a get-together, and you're not intimidating me. And you cannot enslave an honorable people, and you can't intimidate someone when they know that they're speaking the truth. And so this is God's get-together. Don't think of it as Pastor Manning's get-together or Rudy's get-together or Pastor Stefan Broden's get-together. This is God's get-together, and we're going to get together in a righteous church in the broad daylight sun, and we're going to talk about strategizing, and we're going to get some press for what to do about this situation that we got a usurper in the White House. So again, this phone number is 214-632-6340. If you can help, leave your comments in the comment section. I will be checking it out. Give me a call and leave me a voicemail. And if it's when I'm awake during the daytime hours, my wife will be answering it or I will be answering it, and we'd love to hear from you. God bless every one of you. Let's pray about this, and let's pray for Sheriff Arpaio, and let's pray that we can put our nation back on the right track, and God bless every one of you.